Hi, I'm Christy. I want to talk to you today about the impact that special needs has on the siblings. The sibling relationship is kind of touchy to start with under normal circumstances. You can have pretty significant sibling rivalry. You've got that love-hate switching back and forth, sometimes even within minutes, especially when the kids are little. You've got tattling on minor infractions. You've got the meltdown because she left and I didn't want her to go without me. You've got the whole gamut of feelings and behaviors and reactions, a lot of times all in the same day. And as I've said many times before, when you add special needs to the mix, it just complicates everything. Now, throughout this video, I do want to say that I'm going to be talking specifically about kids or referring to kids for simplicity's sake. The adult siblings, this applies to just as much. And many times, that's exactly where they're going to end up. There's still going to be these issues, whether they're kids or adults. Over the years, I haven't seen very much talk about the impact that special needs has on the siblings specifically. So I started doing some research. Is anything out there? Have I just been missing it? Have I not heard about it? And I discovered an article in Psychology Today by a guy named Avidan Malevsky. He said that he's noted the same thing and it really bothers him. He goes on to this in this article to say that, quote, as I have argued in multiple venues, sibling issues in general is an area that has been neglected in research, application, and the law, despite the fact that siblings play an integral role in the lives of people throughout life. He goes on to say that siblings are at a greater risk for developing anxiety, emotional issues, and stress, but that a lot of times they hide these issues from their parents. Throughout the article, he has several main concerns that I've wondered about throughout the years, and he talks about the negatives and the positives of having a sibling with special needs. Overall, I think the article is a really good overview, although I have not personally witnessed the extent of the negatives that he talks about. He does have a lot of good things to talk about, though. You can find a link to that article at my blog at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This post originally posted in March of 2018. I also found a transcript from NPR's Talk of the Nation. It was originally recorded in 2012, but I think the information they talk about is still very applicable. In it, he had two guests. One was, I believe, a pediatrician who is the sister of somebody with special needs. He also had somebody from Sibling Support Project and was talking with him about different things that they do at his organization. They also took calls and emails from the audience. And throughout this whole transcript, there's a lot of talk about the conflicting emotions that siblings have, how they're really proud of their sibling, but they don't like that they get ignored sometimes, and just different things like that. They talk about different ways to deal with things in a healthy manner. Really good read. And again, I really liked learning about the Sibling Support Project, and I'm definitely going to look into their organization some more. I also found an article at childmind.org. It talked about 5 ways that siblings can be supported. 1, talk openly about the situation. 2, spread the support around. 3, set aside time for each child. 4, try to treat all children the same. And 5, look at the positives. Now, some of these seem pretty obvious, but I think they can be easily overlooked, especially when life hits you full force and you're trying to wade through and just keep your head above water. And a lot of times, the typical kids do get the short end of the stick, and we all feel bad about that. It's difficult to maintain perspective at times when one kid in particular needs so much of our attention. And we find that while parenting is a balancing act in general, it's really much more so when you've got somebody with special needs. The final article that I talked in detail about was from themighty.com. It's this really sweet letter from a mama that calls herself the mama to a child like you and your special sibling. It's written at probably about an elementary level, but it applies to everyone. She takes a really realistic look at life. She points out a lot of the positives and puts spins on things that really turn them into a positive, but she doesn't ignore the negative. She doesn't ignore that at times it's hard, and she admits that. But she focuses on how siblings tend to learn lessons that turn them into amazing people as adults. She says a lot of times they have to mature faster, so don't take that out on your friends and don't blame them for that. Different things like that. The one warning I have with this is you might need a tissue or two. It's pretty touching. I also have several other websites and articles that I found that I listed on the website. Again, you can find them at www.havenofhopeforme.com. And again, it posted in March of 2018. Again, I find that there's another long video here, and I wasn't even sure there was any research out there. The two main things that pop up to me, though, are this. One, there really isn't a lot of research that's been done on the impact that special needs have on siblings. And two, siblings can benefit from support from other siblings with special needs and support that's focused specifically for them. From our family's perspective, we have tried to treat my older son just as typically as we can. We do make accommodations and modifications for him as he needs, but we still get on him when he has a bad attitude. He still has chores he has to do, just like his brother. We've also tried to give my younger son his own areas to shine and his time in the spotlight. And we try to make sure that he gets the attention that he needs. Ironically, as the boys have gotten older and as we've stopped therapy for my older son, my younger son's sports schedule is what has dictated our family schedule in the last few years. Now, that's not to say that my older son doesn't get the attention that he needs. He still does. He is very high functioning, but he still requires some extra modifications and attention at times. And so we do everything we can to give him what he needs while giving our younger son the same. So my question for you this week is this. How has special needs impacted the siblings in your family? I'd love to hear your comments, positive or negative. You can leave them below. We can get the conversation going there, or you can leave them over at my blog. Again, that's www.havenofhopeforme.com. As we continue on this journey, I hope that you can agree with me and say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.